Hello fellow sleepers, Dusty is here with another video, and if you're diving into Dune Awakening, today I've got something super useful for you. In this video I'm going to show you 6 to 7 blueprints locations that you can find across the map. You can use the timestamps if you want. These are really valuable schematics that will give you a big advantage, especially at the start. I'll show you the exact locations, share some map tips, and tell you what each blueprint unlocks. So let's get right into it. Alright, so the location we're heading to is called Keyhole Rock. You need to make your way right here. I'll zoom out so you can see the full map. This is in the first zone of the game, or first sector, whatever you prefer to call it. Once you get here, take out the enemies in the area. After that, head upstairs. You'll find a chest container waiting for you. Inside that chest, you'll find a bike engine, and not just any engine, this one's actually really fast and super useful early on. Honestly, even compared to higher level engines, this one holds up surprisingly well. After you grab it, just head back to your base, research the blueprint, and you'll be able to craft it and install it on your bike. Super easy to find and totally worth it. But before you leave the area, make sure to grab the intel nearby. It's super easy to find, just look right here, pick it up, and then you're good to go. Once you've got the engine blueprint and the intel, you can head out and move on to the next location. Alright, so after grabbing the blueprint at Keyhole Rock, you don't need to go far, just head southwest of the location. There's another blueprint you can grab right away. Now in this area, you'll actually find both an intel and a blueprint, which is awesome, but heads up, there's a lot of enemies here, so be ready to fight them. The POI is split in two parts. The left side is where you'll find the intel, the right side is where the blueprint is located. But before we drop down, I need to mention the fact that one thing I really like about Dune Awakening is that you can always come back to areas you've explored before. Even if you missed a blueprint the first time, it'll still be there when you return. Nothing gets locked out, which is super useful. So as you can see, I'm using a sniper rifle here, not exactly an early game weapon, but it really helps clear the camp from distance. I take out as many enemies as I can from up top before moving in. Once the area is a bit safer, I drop down and head towards the left side. There are still enemies on the way, especially upstairs, so I'm clearing them out as I go. And here it is, the intel, easy to pick up once the area is clear. Now time to head to the right side of the camp. You might run into a few more enemies, but this one's a bit easier to navigate. Just make your way to the top floor of the building. Be careful here, there's a mine right next to the container. I didn't notice it at first, so if you're watching this, make sure to shoot it before getting close. Inside, you'll find a schematic for a rifle, and let me tell you, even though I'm around level 60, I still use this thing when I craft it. It hits hard and is totally worth picking up. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Alright, for the next blueprint, we're heading just east of Hajra Basin. You can spot it on the map. It's a rock formation shaped like a rhombus. That's where we need to go. Once you get there, start climbing up. We're heading to the top of the rock. When you reach the top, you'll see a destroyed ornithopter. And just to the left of it, there's a container. There's a mine nearby, but this time I was ready for it. Backed off to let it explode, and then went back to the container safely. So make sure to watch out for that. Inside the chest, you'll find a water container called Hajra Literjon Mk1. Now let me explain why this item is so useful. As the name suggests, it's a container for water. You can fill it up using a Jew Reaper. Later on, you can craft the Mk2, an upgraded version for this one, but even this Mk1 version is really helpful early in the game. Once you've got it, you're all set. Let's move to the next item. Alright, next up, we're heading just north of our last spot to a place called the Wreck of Alcyon. Here you'll find a special knife, and it's super useful because it lets you collect blood from enemies when you hit them. This is great if you want to avoid using extraction after enemies die, since you can just keep hitting them with this knife to gather blood. Now this spot can be a bit confusing at first. When you get inside, you'll need to find a door that requires scanning. Use your cut ray to open it and get inside. Then you'll have to take out a few enemies to reach the container. There are actually two very similar doors like these in the area, so I recommend searching and opening both. Behind each, you'll find valuable items. Alright, for this next blueprint, which is an upgrade for your bike, you need to head to the second zone of the game. Once you're there, go to the only trade post in this sector called the Anvil. When you get to the Anvil, start from this location and just follow along with the footage. Like any other POI, there are few enemies inside you'll need to deal with. One of them actually set herself on the fire. I don't know why, but it made it easier for me. After taking them down, go ahead and loot the bodies and check the chest nearby. You'll notice a way to exit the cave from here too, in case you want to head out early. But we're not done yet. From this spot, drop down and finish off the remaining enemies. Once it's clear, look for a fabricated entrance. You'll need to cut it open using your knife. Inside, you'll find the container holding a bike booster, and this one's a game changer. It gives your bike a serious speed boost, and it's a great upgrade to grab early. After I pick it up, I headed back to my base to craft and install it, and just look at the difference in the speed. Now let's take it out for a spin and test it out on a field. Alright, before we move on to the next item, there are a couple of important things I want to mention. First, every chest in the game resets every 45 minutes. That means you can come back later and potentially find different schematics or blueprints inside. The loot isn't always the same, but the items I showed you earlier have a high drop rate in those spots, so it's definitely worth checking again. Second, the next location we're heading to is a PvP zone. Now don't worry, not many players camp this area, at least for now, so it's not usually dangerous. Still, keep an eye out just to be safe. The item we're going to after is a powerful weapon schematic, but here's the thing, in this run I actually didn't get the weapon. Instead I found a bike upgrade, and honestly it turned out to be even more useful for my build. Alright, let's talk about where to go. The place is called Wreck of Palin and it's located in the second sector of the game. Once you get there, it might feel a little confusing to navigate once you get inside, kinda like the last one. But I'll show you the exact path to take. The best way to get inside is from the rooftop, and it's safe as well. It's a destroyed ship, so you want to go to the rooftop and then drop down. After you climb up, just follow the footage, drop down, take out enemies, and I'll guide you right to the container. Let's go. Alright, here it is, the container, and inside we've got another upgrade for our bike. This one's a level 2 version of the engine we found earlier in the video. It's a solid upgrade, definitely worth grabbing. After that, don't forget to pick up the key nearby, which you can use to open the exit door and get out safely. Now in my case, I didn't find any extra loot or PvP, so I decided to head back in and see if I could find more PvP action. Anyway, if you found this guide helpful, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment down below, and of course, subscribe if you haven't already. All that stuff helps the algorithm to show the video to more people, and I really appreciate the support. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Much love, and as always, peace out.